Right, hi, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. So a number of people have contacted me and asked me what's going on, why am I not posting very many videos. So the last video I posted, I think I was in France, just about to cross over to the UK, and I may have told you, I can't remember, but I wasn't very well. I had a temperature, a fever, and then I got back to the UK on the 7th, and I went to the doctor's on the 8th. I'd already booked in, which is really strange because they don't allow you to book in. But when I told them that I was flying out to Dubai on the 10th, and I said I think I've got some sort of kidney infection, they booked me in, which was great. So I went to the doctors and I gave them a sample, and they gave me some tablets on antibiotics, and yeah, I started taking those, and then I flew out to Dubai on the 10th, and when I arrived, the pain had stopped, but the fever hadn't. So anyway, I went straight to my hotel and I stayed in bed until the 13th, just living on room service. And to be honest with you, it's a bit of a blur. I can't really remember that much. The reason why I was actually out here was to do an exhibition, and I didn't go. So on the 13th, I came to the conclusion that if I didn't feel any better the next day, then I was going to go off to the hospital. And within the space of probably 5 minutes, I came to the conclusion that there was no point in waiting, because I knew I wasn't going to feel any better. So I bundled a few bits and bobs into my laptop bag, and I went down to the reception and I caught a taxi to the closest hotel. The closest hospital. You'll have to excuse me, my brain is a little bit messed up. So I checked into this hospital on the 13th, and I'm not even sure what day it is today. Oh, let's have a look at my phone. It's the 20th. So anyway, so I checked into the hospital, and to start with, in order to even get seen and even to get some initial tests done, I had to pay them like a deposit, which I think was around about £500. Now, at this stage, let me just say this, I have got travel insurance, which I'm really pleased about. But they needed me to pay up front. So I paid them about £500. And then they did the tests and they said, right, okay, you have got a serious urine infection, and you've also got sepsis. Now, I don't know a lot about these things, but I do know that sepsis is serious. So they said, we need to admit you, and we need to admit you straight into intensive care. And I just said, whatever you need to do. So anyway, they admitted me into intensive care, which again, they wanted another deposit, but this time it was bigger. So this time they wanted £10,000 off me. So, okay, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, the insurance company will do their job and they will give me the money back and all that kind of stuff. So, but I had no choice, because literally I was going to die. So yeah, I paid them that money, and then they've done all sorts of tests, and they started bombarding me with antibiotics, broad spread antibiotics. This is the kind of terminology that they've used for me, or to me. And these antibiotics are not necessarily focused on one particular area, they're focused on the whole of the body. And after a couple of days, there was no improvement. And one of the other things that I've learned is, and I can't remember what the 3-letter acronym is, but there's an acronym which describes the level of infection in your body. And when I first checked in, they said that figure should be around 5, and yours is 300. So I knew that meant that it was bad. So then I stayed in intensive care for a few days. And the infection factor went up to around 350. So I wasn't getting better, I was actually getting worse. So anyway, they sent me for various different scans, CT scan, x-rays, ultrasound, all sorts of different scans. And one of the things that they saw was my left kidney was, from what I understand, a normal kidney should be about the size of a fist. So I guess that's about the size of an orange. Whereas my left kidney was kind of the size of a watermelon. And you could feel it. You could really feel it on my side. So anyway, what they came to understand was that they ruled out everything. Where is the infection coming from? And they were looking at various different things, lungs, liver, all these various different things. And they came to the conclusion that this infection must be coming from this kidney that was swollen. So today I think is Tuesday. So on Sunday, they took me down for an operation. And the operation was to put a tube somehow. I don't know how they got in. I don't know where they entered, but I could see on the screen, I could see this tube going up through, the inside of my body, which was really weird. But before that, in order for them to do this thing, they paralysed me from the waist down. They gave me an injection into my spine, which it was a really weird feeling because I knew that my feet were there, but I just couldn't move them. It was just, I could only imagine that that's how an amputee feels. And it was really distressing. But anyway, they did this operation with me awake all the time. And in actual fact, at one stage, I actually dozed off. But so what was really weird, and I'm not going to show you photos of this, but they actually drained 2.5 litres of poison out of my left kidney. So you imagine how much is 2.5 litres, and that's the reason why it was so swollen. And they showed me the pictures, and it's a lot. So anyway, yesterday I felt a hell of a lot better. Not perfect, still feel really sleepy, still having some fever, but a million times better than I did the day before. No pain now. Today, just a bit sleepy, a little bit of fever, but I do feel that every day now is getting better and better and better. One of the worst experiences of this has been the fever. In the way that you kind of get to know what your body's doing. And I could, when it happened a few times, I could then notice that it was about to happen. And what I'm referring to is my body would go through spikes, temperature spikes. And when I knew that it was going to spike, I could feel it. And this happened within the space of 2 or 3 minutes. But after 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, I would be shaking uncontrollably. And my breathing and everything would just go wrong. So thankfully, I mean, the nursing staff here are absolutely brilliant. We talked about it and I said, look, do me a favour, have on standby, I'm on various drips, okay? There's an IV set up there at the moment with saline in it. There's another one set up with antibiotics. Now, when I was having these horrible fevers, I said to them, please have an IV on standby with Panadol, because although that doesn't sound very strong, it really dealt with my fever. And they did that. They had an IV on the standby just to switch over straight away with Panadol in it. And as soon as I felt one of these spikes coming on, which roughly was every 12 hours, I would press the buzzer, they would come in and I would go like that, and then they would switch it over. So, so I think that's where we are. I mean, the current situation is I've got this drain on the side of me that I guess is a pipe that goes straight into my kidney that is constantly draining anything that's in that kidney. And yesterday it was very, very cloudy. Today it's getting clearer and clearer, and I just need to concentrate on drinking lots and lots of water to flush it out. So I don't quite know how this is going to end. I'm sure it's going to end well, but I don't know when it's going to end. Let's say that. I know that they want more money off me, which as soon as they contact me today, I'll give them my credit card for that. Hopefully the insurance company do the right thing and pay out. We all know that insurance companies typically, if they've got even the slightest chance of not paying out for anything, then they will. I hope that's not going to be the case, because this is going to be expensive. But I'll put another update on kind of towards the end, well, probably at the end of my stay in this hospital. But the one thing that I would say is this. I've got quite a positive outlook on life, and I believe, I do truly believe this. And if you're involved, or if your family are involved in healthcare in the UK, please don't take this the wrong way. I believe if this had have happened in the UK, I believe that I wouldn't be here now making this video. Because the system in the UK is broken. It's nothing to do with the personnel. It's nothing to do with the doctors and nurses. It's to do with the system. And I'm so glad, so lucky that I just happened to be flying out here. Now, okay, the situation here is, if I hadn't got insurance or money, then I wouldn't have got seen. Simple as that. And maybe that's the right way. Maybe that's the way it should be. But anyway, I'm only making this video just really to just give you a bit of an update, because There are a lot of people that have been messaging me, but I know there's also a lot of people on the channel that don't follow me on Facebook, so you wouldn't know what's been going on over the last 10, 15 days. So there you go. So I would imagine that the insurance company, as soon as I get discharged from here, will want me to go straight home. It's completely messed up my trip. You know, literally I was coming out here for, I was coming to Dubai for a few days for an exhibition, and then I was going off to Abu Dhabi, then I was coming back to Dubai for a day, then I was going off to Oman for a week, and then I was going off to Saudi for a few days, and then I was going off to India for a week. And I think, by experience of other people, I think that as soon as I get discharged, the insurance company are going to want me back home, and basically sign me off, because every day that I'm out here, I'm a financial risk to them. Now, it's a brilliant hospital. I don't know where it sits in terms of the best hospitals, but all I know is that this has saved my life, this hospital. So let me show you around. Okay, so there's my bed. As you can see, it's got a nice view. I'm not even sure which way I'm facing. I know I'm at the airport. This has been a godsend. Smart TV, play YouTube on it and everything, connected to the internet. Yeah, that's been a godsend. Some lovely flowers that were brought to me by some of my colleagues. Wardrobe with all my stuff in it. In the bathroom with the shower.